How's it going, everyone? Kayne here, and gonna do a video on all my PS1 games that I've collected over the years and still collecting for to this day, because yeah, the PlayStation is my favourite console of all time. It's just the one immediately pops into my head when someone asks me what's your favourite console, and it's just, as a kid growing up with the console, it's just the one I remember the most, with video game adverts and magazines and stuff like that. I mean, I'm pretty biased because that was the console I loved. I know there was other consoles, N64 and all that, but yeah, the PS1, still love it to this day, and yeah, wanted to do a video on all the games that I have so far. And I was originally doing a game collection series on my main channel, which I ended because it was getting too far in between doing each episode, and I wanted to do the PS1 last as a sort of, the end of the series. But when I started, I didn't even have a PS5, so then I thought, well, when's it going to end? And then I get to the PS1. I mean, by the time I got to it, PS10 will probably be out, so we're going to do that today, and I'm really excited. Let's get to it. And to start this video off, I have to do one of my favourite games that I still love to this day, and just did another playthrough on, Resident Evil. Still love it as if it's day one. I remember when Dad hired the PS1 for the first time from the video store. We had this, Crash Bandicoot, and I cannot remember if it was Tekken 2 or Tomb Raider, but I do remember just being amazed at just watching the cutscenes for the games, and I was like, oh my god, this is awesome. And I remember Resident Evil very just etched in my brain, seeing the beginning cutscene. It looks so awesome. I was like, oh my god, this is cool. And yeah, then the first scene when the zombie happened, and I'm like, yeah, no, I don't like this. It's scary. And yeah, the one member I remember the most is when, because Dad was playing, me and Luke were just too young to play it, and the zombie dog jumping through the window, and we all jumped off that chair. It was just, it was fun times, and still love it to this day. You're dead scared, face your fear. And many years after that, got the director's cut, and yeah, with the Resident Evil 2 demo. I don't remember actually doing a full run on it. I think I picked this up during my TAFE years in 2009. It was actually at a Game Trader store, and yeah, they were selling them, the PS1 games really cheap, and that's when I realised the PS3 could play PS1. I was like, oh, gotta get all these games. Awesome. And the playthrough I did recently was Biohazard. So yeah, I wanted the Japanese version of Resident Evil, in my collection, and yeah, I did a playthrough on it. And I really thought I could get through it quite easily until I reached the picture puzzle room, because I couldn't read Japanese, and I'm like, uh-oh, I don't remember which picture's which. So that was really fun. Also got on the Sega Saturn and the Dreamcast. I love it so much. This is not going to be in any order. I just got a big pile, and I'm just going to grab one and go through the games. This one has to be next though. WWF SmackDown. I've played this just as much as Resident Evil, well, up until this point, because I was too scared to play Resident Evil back in the day, but oh man, I remember playing the demo. A mate of mine showed me when he came to visit one day, and around, when did this come out? 2000, and yeah, it was fun, but he just killed me, and he knew how to play the game. We're like, how do we play? This is really hard. And once I learned, never went back. Absolutely loved it. And yeah, then I realised a bit later on that this was actually an actual, what do we call it? Not TV show, but it's an actual thing. I thought this was just a game that they made, and it blew my mind. I was like, oh my god, it's real? Real? So, yeah, later SmackDown. Oh, I'd love to do another run of this. I might do it at some point, because, yeah, I'm making my way through the SmackDown games on my playthrough list. Oh, I really need to get a new case for this one. Rugrats Search for Raptor. One of my all-time faves. It's hard to do a top 10 because there's so many great games, but this was another one that we played a lot of, especially like me and Luke had friends over. It was just a really fun game to just go through, and I want to do another playthrough of this one as well. And I was a big Rugrats fan. My favourite show ever. Never missed an episode, and if I did, I got upset. A recent one of the collection, about a couple of years ago now, I won it on an eBay auction. High Octane, I think I was just browsing PS1 games that are on a auction and put a bid in, and I actually won it, but it's like Twisted Metal, but it's really not that good. This is a game I really wanted to do a playthrough on for the last few years, but just never got to it. Typhoon Wrath of the Tiger. This is an awesome game. It's just, you're a tiger who knows kung fu, and you're just going through the game. I think if you're trying to save your master, he gets kidnapped by a dragon, and yeah, it's just a really fun, beat 'em up adventure game, and highly recommend. And it's got a great soundtrack. You can get magic too. You beat each boss, you get a new ability. And yeah, we hired this out. We had a sleepover, a friend of ours, and we finished it in one night. It was so much fun. I was so big on the martial arts and just Asian culture with like movies, TV shows, video games. Had Bushido Blade, and one of my favourite movies, Beverly Hills Ninja. Used to watch that a lot, and then Rumble in the Bronx. Oh, good times. Talking Bushido Blade. Boom. Yeah, this is a great one. What was that game called? It was a really popular one with Xbox Arcade. Deadliest Warrior, I think it was called. And it was just a lot of clips online. It was always like a really insane kill and people losing their minds. This is pretty much it. You just got to take your time, and you can end the round in one slash, and it is really fun. Really, really good until you get to the guy with a gun, and yeah, that's when you start running. Just love the intro song. And if you don't like fighting, perfect game for you. Buster Groove. This was a really fun dancing rhythm game. You got to time your buttons and follow the beat. Soundtrack is amazing. Really, really cool. I want to do a playthrough on this at some point. There's so many PS1 games I want to do, but I got really annoyed. I had a good setup, capture cards and all that. And then my PS1, the disc thing, it had a piece broken off. It can still run, but I don't want to risk it just in case. For God's sake, Sony, enable some functionality on the PS5, please. Any Simpsons fans out there? Simpsons Wrestling. I sung a lot of time into this one. I really liked it. I mean, it was not the best, and it's really broken with some characters, but yeah, I loved The Simpsons, and this was the time when wrestling peaked for me, where I knew I loved wrestling, and there was nothing else that mattered to me, and seeing this, and I thought, what a great combination. Includes 19 combatants. If I remember, Bumblebee Man was really deadly. He'd bring out his little chihuahua and nibble your feet. Do you know what I miss? Light gun. Oh, I wish we could get a light gun again at some point so we can play these on-rail shooters again, because yeah, this was so much fun. I mean, when you think like big moments in gaming history, like the VR headset being released and everyone was so excited. I remember when the light gun was brought out and everyone was trying to get one and get all the games for it, and oh, that was a fun time, that one. I don't want to spoil the next game. I've got to get it at some point, but I remember getting the light gun. Me and Luke, we got it for our birthday, and I think it was a combo pack, and I'll make sure to let you know which game that is. It wasn't Time Crisis, but there was another popular shooter on the, with the light gun. My favourite animated movie of all time, A Bug's Life, and loved the game as well. and it used to give me headaches though when I was playing it back as a kid, but yeah, thankfully not anymore. I don't know why. The one level was just past the bird when you're heading to the city, and you're like in this rocky area with a lot of platforming, and yeah, for some reason I always got a headache, but thankfully not anymore. And yeah, really fun game. Absolutely had a blast when I did a playthrough on, and like some other games, I really want to do another. It was just so much fun, and the movie's so much fun. For our birthday one year, I think our parents were kind of trying to find out what me and Luke were really into at that time, and I remember Mum hiring the game out, A Bug's Life, and I just made a comment, I really love A Bug's Life, and for me and Luke's birthday, we got the game and the movie on VHS, and we were like, oh my god, this is so awesome. So playing the game and watching the movie all night. Let's bring back the evil with Resident Evil 2. This was a fun one because, yeah, I remember our dad was so excited when he heard that there was going to be a second game, and picking up a magazine with the demo, he's like, hey boys, let's get home and play it, hey, let's go. And yeah, we were scared shitless with the scene with Kendo and the zombies, and we're like, oh my god, it's just like the dog jumping through the window. And yeah, this one I remember a lot with magazines, especially with a lot of artwork. The one I remember still to this day is like Leon and Claire in a room trying to defend themselves against a horde of zombies, and yeah, good times. And yeah, this is where my 2236 thing come from, that I have in my name for my YouTube channel and everything, because even though I was so scared, the only part I ever got up to, you know, when I feel like, oh, I'm finally ready to play this game, I'm old enough now, I'm 10 now, I can do it, I'd get up to the locker, 2236, end it, that's it, I'm done, finished. And that's just, I always remember the code, 2236, because that's what I always did. Didn't get very far. Ashamed to admit, I finally did a full playthrough on it, like not a playthrough for you, but playing through it, back in 2017, maybe in 18 for a Halloween special. I don't know why it took me so long to finally get down to playing it, because by 2005, you know, me and Luke we finally reached that age, you know, we're teenagers, turning 15, we're like, we can play these, they're not scary, even though they were. You know, some moments were still scary, but that was when we were like, oh, we're ready to play, we can do this. And yeah, playing them all up until the point where I finally, you know, got to Resident Evil 2, and yeah, it took me so long to do a full run on it. I was always a Resident Evil 1, Resident Evil 3 guy. Tell you what's been doing really well the last couple of years, the Digimon trading card game. Well, there was a card battle game for the PS1. It's not, I don't think it's the actual trading card game. I think this is a completely different format. I'm not too sure. I should look into that, but this was fun. Absolutely loved it. A great little card game. I did beat the main story, but there's like an after game where they've added more content, and yeah, it gets really tough. But really, really fun. Dun, 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 dun. If you guessed the driver theme I was just humming, you are correct. This was awesome. Great car game. Shame where it ended up. Driver 3. Oh boy. But yeah, this was a dad game. He loved this one. He just loves car games. His favourite one, Gran Turismo. Yeah, he's all about the cars. And I always wanted that car. I really struggled with this game, like just playing it, because too busy spamming the fart button. Family would get really annoyed with me and Luke. You know, boy, stop spamming the fart button, it's annoying. But yeah, this was a fun one. Dad, he was going through it, and me and Luke would, you know, assist if he, you know, he was struggling. But yeah, this was a fun family game. Good old Abe. And can't believe we got another game in the series. It's good. Abe is back. Talking to someone who's back, in the remastered game a few years ago. Sir Daniel Fortescue in Medieval. Yeah, this was a good little hack and slash. And good to see Sir Dan back. Really awesome, and I intended to do a playthrough on it. I still need to get to it. Yippee-ki-yay! Die Hard trilogy. Do you love your Die Hard? This is the game for you. Really struggled with it. No, it was very brutal? Is that the correct term? Not so much brutal, it was pretty much an arcade game. You just go through it, get as far as you can, and if you beat it, you know, good job. I really like the second game. Like in this, the on-rail shooter was really fun. I can hear the music now. Beverly Hills has the Great White Ninja Haru. PS1 has Ninja Shadow of Darkness. So we used to play the demo a lot and really loved it. And then our uncle picked up a copy and then he sold his collection years later, which, you know, me and Luke bought off him. And yeah, this game's really hard. The first level was, you know, once you kind of died a lot, but because the demo was the first level, you get used to it. But yeah, I remember it being really hard. Never got past the second level. Actually, I'm pretty sure I reached the dragon in... No. Might be thinking of a different game. Can't remember, but... Yeah, it was just brutal. Won this one a couple of years ago from eBay. Crypt Killer, a shooter. Not the best. Yeah, it's alright, but... Yeah, I don't know. I was playing as I picked it up, you know, to make sure it was working. It was just... didn't really wow me. And then I read up online, apparently people are the same. You know, it's okay, just... not wow. Let's end off the trilogy, and my all-time fave in the series, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. If I couldn't pick the first game, because it's being biased, it's the first game, because it's the best, start of the series, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Loved this so much. It was one that I loved just when I beat the game, jumping back in, getting through it as fast as I can, you know, got all my cool weapons and trying to see if I could find any other, you know, different thing in the game, because yeah, it was so random and it was quite unique for Resident Evil that every playthrough you did was different. It was really, really cool, and I never did do the 8 runs to get all the epilogues. I should do it. I love you, Jill. Let's get some Star Wars in with Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. So I picked this up at Game Traders when they were, as I was saying earlier, selling off their PS1 games cheap. So we actually had a copy, and I thought, I'll just pick it up because it's cheap, and now me and Luke both have a copy because, yeah, we both loved this game when it released, and just, we loved Phantom Menace. You know, we were one of the kids, you know, we loved, you know, Phantom Menace, seen in the cinema, and the pod racing scene still blows my mind to this day, and I really loved it, and has a close place in my, in my heart, this movie. And the game was really cool as well. Just, it was brutal. Well, not brutal, but it was tough. If you really didn't pay attention, you would get lost, and you're like, what do I do? But apart from that, really awesome.
Hello.
Who's that? That must be Abe. Returning in Old World Abe's Exodus. I like this one a little bit more. I don't know if it's because you could chant the, more of the enemies now, like the Scrabs and Paramites. Jeez, I just went blank then, because you couldn't in the first game, but yeah, I don't know. This one, I just enjoyed more. It's just something about it. No, if I was to play an Old World game, it'd be this one. Don't drink all that brew now. You get sick. I only played a little bit of this one. Driver 2, so another Game Traders game. It was cheap, picked it up, and yeah, I don't know, I think it was really liked the first one, but it kind of moved on from the driving games in general. I mean, this one was cool because you could leave the car. Oh my god, now you can actually leave and get another car. awesome. But yeah, I remember it being really, really good, and like a lot of people give it high praise. But yeah, it was just, I moved on. I was onto wrestling games. Don't remember if I ever played this one. 007 Racing. I think this was in my uncle's collection, but I don't think I ever played it. So I don't know. It looks like it's very Twisted Metal-ish. Formula 1 97. Honestly, can't remember where I got this one from, and I don't think I played it either. I've just remembered. So a bit like when Game Traders were selling off their games cheap, me and Luke were hitting all the second-hand stores because they were selling off a lot of PS1 games. Because this one, as I just looked at the cover, I just remembered that, at some point a few years ago, me and Luke were going around to see if we could find any PS1 games. Quake 2, played the demo quite a lot and enjoyed it, but yeah, never got around to playing it when picked it up. But yeah, I remember now. So a few of these games in the pile I can't remember. So some were my uncle's collection, but it was also me and Luke at one point we were trying to see if we could find any second-hand stores selling games. Just like this one. Dude Nukem Time to Kill. Yeah, just a lot of really good games we managed to pick up during our, checking all the stores. Hey, another Game Traders one. WCW Nitro. This sucks. I could not figure out how to play it. And I remember the demo, me and Luke, we just could not work it out. And we're like, oh, screw this, we're playing SmackDown. The WCW games on N64, however, oh, they were good. I need to do a wrestling video game collection. I got so many. Another one of my favourite movies of all time, Small Soldiers. Oh, that was a great year, the movie came out, and such an easy time for birthdays and Christmases because all the kids at that time, especially, where I went to school, was just everyone wanted Small Soldiers toys, and oh, such a great movie. And this was a fun game when I remember picking it up and thought, oh, this is really good. Sometimes, movie games, it's like they're not good. I wonder if I still got my Archer figure. It was kind of funny because it was like all the parents wanted to get their kids the Gorgonites because they're the good guys, but then it's like, no, we want the Commandos, but it's like, but they're the bad guys and they're cool. But nah, me and Luke, we loved our Gorgonites. I had Archer, and he had like a throwing stone whip thing, and I had, he wasn't actually in the movie, but he was in the first scene when the two guys were trying to show off the toys, and he was like the big orange dude, and when what's his name was squeezing him, he ended up burping and farting. And yeah, I had him, and Luke had a Archer because he's the main hero for the Gorgonites, so we both got an Archer. But he got what's his name? The purple dude, he spins. I forgot his name now. Freakazoid? I don't know. But yeah, oh god, they were fun. Yeah! Rayman! Oh, this was fun. I never beat it though, but it was just always a game that you could jump into and, just have a fun time with it. And then we found out the code to try and get more continues, but we couldn't work out the timing. It's like, no, we got to get it at this time. It's like during the continue. We got some more wrestling with WrestleMania, the arcade game. I actually don't know where I got this. I think this may have been a second-hand store that I picked it up. I think so, yeah. No, it was Game Traders. I tried to rip the sticker off and it didn't come off. Need to get around and clean in the jewel cases. Jeez, me, Luke and Dad sunk a time into this game. FIFA 2000. This, I don't know, it was just a really fun football game, and yeah, it was quite a popular one with our friends as well. Like if we were hanging out, it's like, oh, what game do we fancy playing? And we'd always boot this one up, and yeah, really, really good. Yep, that's upside down. Hang on, wait, what? Oh, that's upside. No. Okay, I don't know what happened there. That's weird. Ew, what's... Oh, it's yellow tack or blue tack, but it's yellow. Oh, that's what that stuff was on Old World. I was trying to work out why that's there. I think we're trying to keep the picture on. Now we've ruined it. But yeah, I don't know what happened there. Earthworm Jim. I don't know if I played this one, but I remember playing one on the Mega Drive and really having fun with it. Actually, it may have been this one, but this one just released on PS1. I can't remember. Last one for PS1, and then they moved on to next gen. Resident Evil Survivor. This was quite a unique little Resident Evil game. It's pretty much a choose-your-own adventure. It was really fun. And I remember, actually it was probably a couple of months, me and Luke were kind of die-harded to, having some Resident Evil fun and basically just going through all the games again, like a few years ago, back in, it may have been 2010. I can't remember now. It was during that time, and we just really fancied going through them again, and he was going through Survivor and trying to get the good ending, and so you got to go through each different door in the right order. Here's another dad game right here. Siphon Filter. Oh, this was so much fun. Absolutely loved it, and yeah, Dad was mad on this one. I remember he hired it out, and then I think literally the same day he went to the store and bought a copy because he didn't want to return it and not play it. Really fun. Great series. See, we picked this game up around the time we got the PS1 for the first time, but I don't remember too much about it, or even watching Dad play. Wing Commander 3, Heart of the Tiger. I remember the cutscenes because I was like, why do I know him? And Dad's like, that's Luke Skywalker. I'm like, oh, really? Couldn't believe it. I was 6 at the time, but yeah, I just remember the FMV. I'm a sucker for older games with the full motion videos, but yeah, I can't say I remember too much about it. Now, I never played this game, but played the second one a lot. It was a Christmas present for Luke one year. Tony Hawk Skateboarding. So, just picked it up, cheap PS1 game from Game Traders. But the second game, oh geez, we sunk a lot of time into, because we had the demo, and our sister noticed we were playing it a lot, and she got it for Luke for Christmas that year, and I can't remember what I got. I think I may have got, spoiler alert, a Harry Potter game, and I loved it so much. But yeah, she was not a big gamer, but she loved the Tony Hawk series, and she also loved Theme Hospital, and she 100% that. She really sunk a lot of time into that, and yeah, funny enough, she got into pharmacy and all that stuff. So yeah, it's funny how the world works. But that was Buster Grieve she loved as well. But yeah, when she'd seen Tony Hawk, and we were playing the second game a lot, picked it up for Luke for Christmas one year, and yeah, she got into it as well. And many years later, because we loved like Jackass, Viva La Bam and all that, and Tony Hawk's Underground 2, when that released, we were all playing it together, and good times. I never got around to playing this when I picked it up during a video game hunt. World's Scariest Police Chasers. I really don't know what it's like. It almost looks very driverish. Got a time limit, got to stop the criminals. Guess who else just had a remaster? Pac-Man! In Pac-Man World. This was fun. This was one of our uncle's games. And when we used to visit, loved playing it. So much fun. Love Pac-Man. Now we're talking one of my favourite cartoons of all time. It probably ties in with Rugrats, which, funny enough, same creators. Rocket Power and Team Rocket Rescue. It is not a great game, but I loved the game. And because I love the show so much, I'm biased as hell. It's a great game. Seriously, it's pretty rough, but yeah, I remember doing a playthrough on it and ended up beating it, and yeah, I love Rocket Power. It's my favourite show of all time. Anyone for a round of golf? And Everybody's Golf 2, which I think is Hot Shot Golf in America. I can't actually remember on top of my head, and yeah, this was another dad game, but also me and Luke loved as well. We loved all the sports like games like golf and fever and all that. And this was fun because we were trying to get the secret characters, and you had Gex, Sedan, and Sweet Tooth. So it was really funny. But yeah, I remember because when Dad worked overseas, he'd take his PS1 with him in this game, and me and Lou would be excited for him to come over to see what characters he unlocked. Man, how could I forget this game when I was talking earlier about, at a point in time we like really loved anything like martial arts and just, in Asia culture. Tenchu Stealth Assassins. Could not get past level 2, but I loved replaying the first level, listening to that really catchy song. Really good game. And I remember hiring out one of the games on Xbox, and I just loved playing the first level. And feel the Force in Star Wars Masters of Terras. Yeah, me and Luke enjoyed it at the time. I think this was around the time when the Star Wars movies had their re-release on VHS, and it was 97, 98. Can't remember for the life of me, but yeah, Star Wars was really big at that time, I can remember. And yeah, playing this game, and I just remember our parents were buying these, like, not Kinder Surprise, but there were these chocolate eggs, and there was like Star Wars figures in them, and we're trying to get all the characters, and playing this game at that point in time as well. And yeah, we loved it, even though it was pretty rough. Once you learned all the combos, it was fun. I hated it because Luke was always playing as Luke and doing that bloody throwing saber move and knock you out in one hit. And I was always Han, shooting him in the face with his blaster. God, this game was insane. Destruction Derby. Didn't really play a lot of this one. Spoiler alert. Played the second one a lot more, and that one's coming up shortly. No, it's not. It's at the bottom. Never mind. My boys returned. Croc, Legend of the Gobbos. I'm so happy to see him back, and I cannot wait. I don't know if they've done a physical. I think it's digital, but hopefully, fingers crossed. I need to look into it, and I don't think they are, but it'd be really awesome. Always loved Croc. And guess what else is getting a re-release and coming out very soon? Worms Armageddon. What a nice surprise that was. Couldn't believe what I was seeing. Love this game a lot. This was a weekend waster for sure. Going back with Croc. We got Croc too. I think, this was another eBay auction win a few years ago. I was pretty big on it, and then I kind of, stopped. Because I was going to be crazy. I actually played this one a lot on the Sega Mega Drive, and then they did a release for the PS1. Mickey's Wild Adventure. Yeah, this was a blast. Had a great time with it. Never, we don't own it, but it was just one that we always, would hire out from the video store. Throwing throwing marbles? When the first X-Men movie came out, absolutely loved it. We got a game, X-Men Mutant Academy, and it kind of collabed with the movie. You could watch some scenes, and you'd have the costumes from the movie in the game as well. And this was a good fighter. Really loved it. It's actually been on my list for there's so many games on my list to do playthroughs on. I really want to, because me and Luke loved it so much. Because we loved the cartoon, and then when the movie released, it was like, oh my god, this is cool. Siphon Filter was a great game. The sequel was just as good, especially the versus mode. Oh, it was just running around, and what was really cool was we would do knives only, and it was quite hard to try and, because it was an instant kill with the knife, but you had to get really close to get the kill. And we're doing you're spinning around each other, we're both spamming, whoosh, whoosh, trying to get the hit, and then you would hear the and we're like, oh, who got hit, and then someone would collapse, and that was really fun. And I think this one I enjoyed just a little bit more as well. I don't know why. The sequels were really good with some PS1 games. Man, Disney released some great games. Tarzan, love the movie, love the game. It's a really good adventure one, this one. It's like, not adventure, but like 2D scrolling. Oh, mind you got a little bit of 3D environment with some levels. The tree surfing was fun. Here's one you may have seen in ads many years ago and thought, oh, what's this about? C12 Final Resistance. I couldn't tell you why though. I remember playing the demo quite a lot and then picked up a copy and played a bit of it, but I cannot remember anything about the game at all. But I do remember seeing this picture quite a lot and it's like, what is that? The Return of Sir Daniel Fortescue. Medieval 2. Once again, I think I like the second one just a little bit more. I like the characters, helping us out, and I couldn't wait because the big thing that they advertised was Dan being on the, a zombie hand, and I thought at some point we're going to have to do that. And it's quite far into the game that you finally do see a hand you can pop your head in and, get into little spaces, and I don't know, that was just the coolest thing about the game. Oh, the boxing level was the best. You're fighting up against, because the evil guys made like their ultimate weapon and you had to fight him in a boxing match, and if you lost your limbs you had to try and gather the limbs to hopefully get another round in. Really good. Skaters had Tony Hawk, BMX had Matt Hoffman, and I put a ton of time into this one. I don't think they ever made another game, sadly. It's just like one and done. That's all we need. Perfection. Got another Formula 1. 98. Yeah, I just bought this game because of the cover. Danger Girl. It's surprisingly, once you get the controls, it's quite a fun little game. I picked this up during a game hunt, and when I was doing the my marathon for the night, going through the games to make sure they worked. Once I got an understanding, it was quite a fun little game.
What are you staring at, fucker?
Honestly, this game had the biggest impact on the family, and many others. Final Fantasy VII. What else can I say? A great game. We got the remake and the rebirth. Good times, and geez, that was a rough night. For us all, we couldn't believe it, because it was because the whole family was. Me, Luke, Dad, we're the gamers, and Mum and Sister, where the room was set up, they could watch us play, and oh boy, when that moment happened, we were all like, "What? Let's end the trilogy." Siphon Filter 3. Yeah, we skipped over this one. Sadly, I picked this up many years later when started my first job, and then attended TAFE, and come across the copy and thought I'd pick it up and play it, and it was good. Just so they didn't get the Silent Hill Siphon Filter 1 and 2 treatment. Spoiler alert, I don't have any Silent Hill games. That's a loot collection. Honestly, I played this game for the wrong reason. Final Fantasy VIII, I just love playing the card game. That was all that was important to me, unfortunately. But this was a great Christmas, because this was the first time that me and Luke were helping with a present, because our mum wanted to get this for Dad because he loved Final Fantasy VII and he was so excited for 8, and we were the ones helping. Mum was asking, is this the one? Is this the one he really wants? And we're like, yes, that's the one he really wants. And and he opened it up, he was like, yes, best graphics in a game ever. And Christmas morning, watching that beginning scene, just mind-blowing. And good game. And did a Christmas special last year, actually. Oh, I'm gonna have to get onto my Christmas special. We're almost there. Christmas. Man, I got another favourite animated movie all the time. I can't pick. My decision always changes. Toy Story 2, Buzz Lightyear to the Rescue. In the Toy Story movies, the second one's my favourite, and this was a great game. It was a nice little treat, this one, because we had the demo, and I think a friend had this. A friend of ours had this game, and he would bring his games over so we could play them all, and yeah, this was a highly recommended one that we all were like, oh, have you got Toy Story 2? Did you bring it? Like, oh yeah, let's play it. Alrighty, this was a holy grail for me. The Legend of Dragoon. I played the demo of this and just really loved it. Surprised I didn't wear out the demo disc, played it that much. Then hired it out from the video store and really loved it. But never got around to getting an actual copy until many, many years later, where older games are peaked in price a lot. But I managed to get a copy and I'm happy. This is the, what I like with a lot of video game collection, people, it's like that one holy grail to everyone, like that one game that they want for their collection, and it's like a mission, maybe they did have it, something happened and then they don't have it, and now it's like they need it to, they just wanted to have it in their collection again, or it's something they may have seen, like in my case, my childhood, never got around to it, now I finally have it, so yeah, really happy to have this one. Mortal Kombat Trilogy, another random eBay auction. This one, I think it's my last sort of older game that I picked up lately. Shao Kahn's final attempt to control the Earth is upon us. Talking FMV and video games, The X-Files. So yeah, this is a point-and-click adventure, and it's pretty much like an episode of the show, and I actually really want to, get around to playing it. Because I'm actually I'm in the middle of watching the show, and I'm up to season 6, and yeah, I love it so much. Playthrough I've just done recently, Star Wars Rebel Assault 2, another, FMV, focused game, and yeah, this one, I just remember a lot. This was around the time, with like Terrace Casino, like the re-release of Star Wars, and I remember like jumping into this one again and really loving it, and really hard, but it was fun. Before I get into this one, I just realised I've got a couple of games missing because Luke was borrowing them when he was, doing some playthroughs. Tomb Raider, and actually just finished the first game of the remaster trilogy last night, and yeah, that was one of the games that we hired out for the first time, and that first scene with the wolves attacking the dude and Lara jumping down, shooting them, and yeah, really good. But so just on that subject, I'll do a little screen here showing the game. But the next game, Tomb Raider 2, starring Lara Croft. This one's my favourite in the series because Dad picked it up one night, and I think he got this with Crash Bandicoot 2. Now I can remember he picked up 2 games, and this was one of them. And this one I remember the most. I don't remember all the secrets, but I just remember all the levels and the layouts, and yeah, good times this one, and we're at Lara Croft house. It was a fun family game, all trying to work out what to do. And just on that subject, also got Tomb Raider 3, which kind of struggled with that one. I don't know why. Okay, Tekken 2, one of the first games we got with the PS1. Oh boy. Mum did not like that game a lot because, geez, the scream matches me and Luke were getting into because, you cheated! No, you cheated! You're unfair! Oh boy, it was messy. But on the subject of that, Dad wanted to get Tekken 3, and Mum was like, absolutely not, and Dad's like, oh come on, why not? And yeah. It was so much fun times, and yeah, Tekken 3, really good. I actually like Tekken 2 a bit more, but yeah, Tekken's a good series. Before I forget, so the other game we got with Tekken 2, Crash Bandicoot. Once again, see, this is a shared collection. It's only now that me and Luke are starting to purchase our own copies to try and, build up our collections. But yeah, Crash Bandicoot, Mum liked that game because me and Luke would work together to beat the levels. And just on the subject of that, Crash Bandicoot 2 Cortex Strikes Back. My favourite Crash Bandicoot. This is the one I love the most. Just going in, trying to get all the crystals and the gems, and I just like the the coloured gems in this one, just how you get them. So much fun. And I just like the title on the, take on Star Wars. Really fun. And I always remember the killer whale being a big thing. And then we got Crash Bandicoot through war. This, yeah, such an iconic cover. Seen it all in the magazines, and I thought, oh, we get to ride a bike, and you do, which was really awesome. And you get the Wampa Bazooka. Oh, I can't pick a favourite now. First game's still good. Second game's awesome. Third game is even awesome as well. Great trilogy of games. You can keep the Crash train rolling with Crash Team Racing. I remember this was really big at the time. Everyone was wanting a copy, and I'm pretty sure we got this in a bundle, if I can remember now. I don't know what we got with it. I just remember it was like a big box. I think it may have come with like DVD cases or stuff like that. Can't remember. Oh, it may have been a memory card as well. Can't remember off the top of my head, but great little racing game. And let's end this Crash party with Crash Bash. I love this. It's a Crash Bandicoot game and sort of Mario Party-ish. Really, really fun. Had a great time with it. Can't say too much about this game because I've never played it. Jet Rider 2. I think this was during the, like I've been saying, like second-hand stores. This was just part of the bundle or the collection. And just bought it because it, PS1. Can't say I played too much of this game, but Dad, however, played the hell out of Gran Turismo. 100%ed it, got all the cars. He loves it. Still to this day. I think he picked up the latest one for PS5 a year or so ago, and yeah, he's a big car person. Another demo play, and just never got around to picking up a copy until recently. Sheepdog and Wolf. Fun puzzle game. You're just trying to get to sheep and avoiding the dog trying to hunt you down, and yeah, if you like a little puzzle adventure, I recommend it. I actually don't know if this is part of the same series of games there. Oh, what was that? Desert Strike? Desert Hawk? It's like that helicopter game series. You're flying around, shooting things, yada yada. It kind of looks like that series. Nuclear Strike. I can't say where I got this one. I don't remember it being in my uncle's collection. I think just may have just been sometime like years and years ago, just picked it up. Can't remember. Hey, guess what? Soviet Strike. I think that was in this. I think it is in the same series and part of the same games. Yeah, Electronic Arts. Alright, let's just confirm that. Star Wars Episode 1 had so many games come out. Star Wars Episode 1, Jedi Force Power Battles. How do you put it? Like a hack and slash beat 'em up. It's very hard. It gets really brutal. But it was really fun. Yeah, this was a great fighting game. I wish the series would come back. Bloody Roar. The demo was so much fun. And then we got a copy a year or so after that. And it was just an absolute blast. That sounds like the disc has popped. Oh, that's right, because it's broken. You can tell we played this game a lot. It's a bit beat up. But yeah, really good, and honestly one of my favourite game art covers. It's just so iconic and looks so cool. Never got around to getting the second game. Luke got it though. And that one was fun as well. Asteroids. I think it's just Asteroids in HD from what I could see. Never touched it. So looking at what I have left, another game that I don't actually have at me at the moment. Point Blank 2. That was the game that Mila got as a birthday present with the light gun, and yeah, that was so much fun. Absolutely love Point Blank. And just on those games, Time Crisis, Project Titan. I was keeping this on hand to let me know. Don't forget to mention that Point Blank 2 was another fun game, but I just don't actually have here at the moment. But yeah, I don't remember playing too much of this one, sadly. Oh, so many memories with this one, like me, Luke and Dad all trying to help each other try and get through the game and just trying to work out what to do next. Metal Gear Solid. Oh, I love this game. Still to this day. I actually can't pick a favourite between like the trilogy, 1, 2 and 3. I love them all equal. So good. See, I didn't appreciate... He's got so many helicopter games. Black Dawn. Honestly, can't even remember if I ever played it. No. Did play a lot of Command and Conquer, and this was another dad game. He, take to work with him and, try and beat the game. We're playing the demo of this one. Hardcore 4x4. Picked this up during a gaming hunt, and yeah, I remember always struggling with the demo. I feel like if it's the right game, you always fall into this like molten lava pit, and then your tires burst. I feel like it's the same game. In Cold Blood, this was just a bit of a... I can't remember if it's a point-and-click adventure, but it's one of those kind of games. You got to, work out how to get past enemies and all that stuff. I'm pretty sure it's the right game I'm thinking of. Love the demo as a kid. G-Police. I just really love the helicopter you're in, and you're flying around and able to shoot buildings and all that stuff. Just really fun. And I also have the second game. And again, the soundtrack's really good in that one. This is definitely the PS1 game I played the most. WWF SmackDown 2. Sunk a ton of time into this one. Absolutely loved it. And this was when, just hardcore into WWF. Really loved it. Let's get extreme. ECW Hardcore Revolution. Me and Luke really loved this game. Once we realised how to do the button inputs, we really put a lot of time into it. And yeah, at first I didn't realise that this was an actual wrestling promotion like WWF, because a lot of games back then would use real life people for box art, and I thought, oh, that's really cool, and this is really fun. And then I realised, hang on a minute, RVD, and then Rhino to Jerry, like seeing him in WWF. I thought, oh, that's cool. Starring Bruce Willis. Apocalypse. So it's got to be a common pattern. Played a lot of demos, and then years later bought the full games. And yeah, I used to play the demo quite a bit, especially with friends. They just really loved it. I just love that style of shooter. This is a game series I really need to spend more time on. Air Combat, which later turned to Ace Combat. Yeah, I love high speed sort of games like this. In a flying vehicle, trying to take out enemies, and yeah, played Ace Combat 2 quite a lot. I actually don't have the full game. It was a demo, but yeah, I always really enjoyed them, but just never really got into them. If you like Star Wars and you like Doom, you'll like Star Wars Dark Forces, which is just used, the Doom engine, which was really fun. Did a playthrough on that a couple of years ago, and they just did a remastered version of it, which was really cool. Alien Resurrection. I cannot believe the flip of the price of this game, just because someone worked out that there was a what is it? What do you call it? I've gone blank now, and it's really sought after now. I can't believe it. Get ready to meet the mother of all aliens. Get ready to meet a game that just skyrocketed in price because someone worked out you could do something with it. I forget what you call it. And I got Alien Trilogy. This one was really cool. It's very much like Doom. It's like FPS and going through shooting aliens. It's really fun. Had a great movie on one of my favourite cartoons of all time. Then got a sequel, Rugrats in Paris the movie, the game. So yeah, this was picked this up a few years ago, and I didn't get too far into it. I think I got stuck, if I can remember. I need to get back into playing it. Well, next we have Urban Chaos. I could not work out what I had to do with one mission. Like, we're at a hotel and it's like, oh, you got to get in there and do something. And I'm like, how? Tell me. So, but the dialogue's quite funny. I remember, where this woman here, and she was trying to help some distressed woman, and then she starts losing her mind, and she's like, get away, and then she's just like, huh? She's nuts. Another demo game, and finally picked up a copy years later. Wild 9. This is a wild game. You're a guy with a gun on his arm and has like an electric whip, and you can latch onto enemies and beat them to the ground to death. It was so much fun. I need to get around to actually playing it, fully. And the soundtrack's awesome as well. So Lou got Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2 for Christmas. I got Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone and loved it so much. I ended up wrecking the disc. I get to a point in the game and it just freezes, so I need to find a copy at some point. But yeah, absolutely loved it. So much fun. So here's the game that everyone knows the character of, but they just can't remember the name. MDK. There you go. Yeah, this for years I'm like, who is this character I keep seeing? And especially when you see them doing that gliding action, and yeah, that's it, MDK. When you thought the wrestling was over, WWF Warzone. I actually think I need to get Attitude, and then I've got all the WWF games on PS1. Actually, I think I do have it. I think I just got the disc though, but I just can't find it. If you like Pokemon, I recommend this game. Jade Cocoon, a great RPG where you're capturing monsters and tame them and use them to battle. I remember Dad telling me and Luke about the game he'd read about in a magazine when he was overseas, that he said if you like Pokemon, you'll like this game, and he wasn't wrong. Me and Luke, we sung a ton of time to this one. I think this was the first RPG game that me and Luke beat on our own, we just, without any assistance from Dad, because it was so much fun. Now Final Fantasy VII, we always struggled, and we're really happy when we got to the end and we're like, oh my god, we did it. Really good. It's one that it breaks my heart because my save game on the memory card broke, and I was like, no, all that progress. One of my favourite game series, and I'm glad to see making a comeback. Blood Omen, Legacy of Kayne. And I didn't get too far when I picked this up because I loved Blood Omen 2 on the PS2, so I thought at some point I'll get the first game. And yeah, it's really, it's all very early Diablo-ish, first game, and Fallout and all that, with that kind of style. And yeah, I need to get around to actually doing a full run of it. And if you're going to have Legacy of Kayne Blood Omen, you got to have Legacy of Kayne Soul Reaver. And this is what I really love with the series, telling two different sides within the same universe. It was so, such a cool concept. And I always love Raziel. Feel bad for him. Get his revenge. And I loved Legacy of Kayne. What was it? Defiance? PS2, where you played both of them, and then at the end they had to help each other. Sadly, we don't have the first game here in Australia, but we do have the second game, Parasite Eve 2, and oh boy, I remember Dad hiring this one out, and I had nightmares. It scared me. Jeez, especially it's like the second level-ish area. You're in that sort of, what is it? You're in this kind of, not Texas look, but you're in this sort of town. It's empty and really nothing around except monsters, and there was just one moment where all you heard was this woman crying out for help, and it just scared me. If you like fighting games and you like Jurassic Park, I highly recommend Warpath Jurassic Park. It's just all dinosaurs from Jurassic Park in a fighting game, and it is so much fun. It's really, really awesome. All your favourite dinosaurs from movies and all your favourite levels. Really, really cool. Yeah, but it was a Christmas one year, and we had the family up, and our uncle brought it over for me and Luke to play, and we're like, what is this? And we're like, oh, this is cool. Got a fun little pirate game here. Overboard. I played this a couple of years ago for a Christmas special because we got it for Christmas one year, and I forgot how not hard it is, but it's really not a. It's not a full game, if that makes sense. It's just a game that you would, one night you fancy playing something a bit, quickly, and then, oh yeah, I'm good, and then play something different. I thought it was like very, get through each level, but yeah, I remember getting slaughtered by level 4. Gets real mean. Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. This is a really fun Spider-Man game, and it was not groundbreaking, but I remember it was really exciting because I think this was the first Spider-Man game for PS1, and it was one of the greatest at the time, and being really excited. And my dad loved Spider-Man, and even he was excited for us to get it. Like, not get it, but like we hired it out, and got to follow the Spidey compass. And then I picked it up years later. Another game me and Luke played a lot of on a demo and just picked it up years later. Rival Schools United by Fate. Yeah, this was really fun, and yeah, it's one that never really I don't think it ever had a sequel. I think it was just a one-time game, and it's a shame really, because me and Luke, we just had a blast with it. Really cool. Another demo classic that I eventually got a copy of. Future Cop LAPD. This is a really fun mech game, just going around and stopping crime, almost like RoboCop. And then the multiplayer was fun as well. You're trying to take over your opponent's base and using their turrets. I love Resident Evil. I love wrestling, and another thing I still love to this day, Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. And this game was tough, but I got lucky one time and actually beat the game. I just fancied booting it up after so long, and somehow actually won and beat the game. But it doesn't follow the rulings of the card game that we know, well, especially now today. But once you got a handle of it, it was really fun. I recommend there was this thing, you copied over your save game 3 times because it had an ID and you couldn't just trade cards over. And what you did was you could fusion summon as many cards as you wanted. You didn't need polymerization, and you just do a fusion summon to get Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon, which is a really powerful card to get you through most of the game. And good times with that one. It was actually a birthday present Luke got one year, and I got Legends of Wrestling 2, and Dad got into this game as well. We were trying to get all the good cards. If you love Resident Evil and you love dinosaurs, Dino Crisis is highly recommended. I do recommend a walkthrough though, because there's so many parts in this game that me and Luke, when we did a playthrough on it years ago, and I did a re-edit of it because I did a sloppy job on it. There's a lot of parts where it's like, where do we go? So if you're going to get into it, use a walkthrough. You have a much better time, and once you get past the moments where you feel comfortable with the game and you start to understand how some of the puzzles work, it's great. Recommended. And get on board with it, because geez, the price is getting up there. Or just emulate it. Honestly, emulate all the games now. I've changed my stance on it all. I thought, no, I want physicals, but after these companies have decided to be, mean, oh well, that's against our law, you're not doing it. Oh well, how about you re-release the games then, smart asses? And then we got Dino Crisis 2, which changed up the formula. So instead of a survival horror, it's more of an action game now. I mean, it has a little bit of survivalish horror, but it's not like a scary, as the first game was. But don't let that steer you away from it. It's a really fun game. I remember me and Luke were going through it, and it was different, but a good different. Might have to put a picture of this game on because the stickers are covering most of the art. Treasures of the Deep. I really want to do a playthrough on this one and once again, played the demo a lot, and it's why I love Subnautica so much. I just love the idea of being underwater and just exploring, even though it's really scary. Just, really enjoyed it, and looking for treasure. over the top action under the sea, under the sea. Alrighty, last game. Thought I'd save this one for the end because, yeah, it's a game that it's really close to me and loved playing as a kid and still love to play to this day. Heart of Darkness, and this is a remaster I would love to see because it is so much fun. 2D platformer, it's brutal, it gets really brutal, and get used to seeing poor Andy get absolutely brutalized and destroyed by enemies and falling. It's just, jeez, if you think you see video games today where it's like, oh, you're not allowed to see a kid die. 100 Ways to Die, and Andy will show you. Poor kid. And yeah, this was just, I remember the most, like, not being frustrated, but rewarding once you finally get past a bit that's really getting on your nerves. And yeah, I especially love the water level. Don't know what it is about it. It's like anything with water in a game I just love, like Subnautica, Treasures of the Deep. I really want to do a playthrough on. So yeah, last one for the video. For now, until I get some more PS1 games down the line, and I'll do a video picking, like, when I pick them up and just show what I got. And I'm pretty sure that's, I haven't missed any sort of main games that me and Luke played as a kid, because like I've been saying, most of the games are shared, so he's got a couple, and actually Tomb Raider's mine. I need to get that back. But I'll tell you what, we'll end it there. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later.